Spotlight, moonlight, nigga, why you trippin', get your Mariah. Shorty look good in the moonlight. All these pussy niggas so bad, Maya. Spotlight, moonlight, nigga, why you trippin', get your Mariah. Shorty look good in the moonlight. All these pussy niggas so bad.
Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am reacting to Xxxtentacion Spotlight Live at the 2019 Super Bowl.
As the rapper known as Xxxtentacion had his life taken, and it devastated many fans. In fact, many who had never paid much attention to the rapper found themselves respecting X's music and what he stood for in the final stretch of his life.
On the phone, Danny, are you okay? Danny, yo, you doing this the right way, just try to do more of this.
However, there are many out there that feel like the rapper is still even alive. Some of these theories are pretty compelling, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to King Trending. Number 7. Time of death.
Xxxtentacion reportedly say he was the target of thieves.
Before we get into the breakdown of why people think he's alive, we need to discuss why so many people feel that he's not alive anymore. This occurred last year in June when X was out and about in Florida. He went to a motorcycle shop and came out of the dealership in a BMW when he was suddenly followed by a dark SUV. This led to the events that we all know the result of. Though the police and an ambulance made it to him, he passed away unfortunately in the hospital hours later.
In South Florida, fans began to gather here right after learning about the shooting that claimed his life.
A statement was given about the events of that day and the loss of X. On June 18th, 2018, Jason Onfroy, known to the world as Xxxtentacion, tragically passed away in Deerfield, Florida. The statement begins. In deference to the family, friends, and loved ones, and in the light of further investigation, we ask that their privacy is respected at this time. X touched the lives of millions around the globe and will forever reside in the hearts of countless fans who listened to his music, attended his concerts, and felt the glow of his uncontainable, undeniable, and unique spirit. Many mourned the loss of X, and some were even crushed by the event, not wanting to believe that this had actually happened. And that is when the conspiracy theories started to emerge. Number 6. Lack of evidence.
Of a 20-year-old rapper in Broward County.
Guys, the tattoo on his head is gone. See that tattoo there? That circle? You can see it right now. But then no.
Compelling aspects of the evidence on X being alive came from a Twitter handle named Fashion Vain, who made a post not long after the passing of X, stating that a lot of the evidence presented at the crime scene did not add up to the accounts made by the sheriff's department and other official sources. They noted the following. His passing, in the reports, it says that his Louis bag was stolen from his car. In the video of his pulse being checked, there is absolutely no evidence of violence. No shattered glass, no holes. His face is in pristine condition. If he was run up on, wouldn't his car have been damaged? Wouldn't he have had face injuries? And to go the way he did, he should have portrayed a more violent outcome than what actually showed. It's really suspicious. In the videos, he's completely clean, even on his clothing, which was very light colored. Next, the Louis bag was stolen, and X wore jewelry often. No reports of jewelry being...
Again, the tattoo is on his head.
Them steal their Louis bag but leave their jewelry, especially from a notorious rapper. Finally, someone pointed out the fact that his tattoos are missing. The videos of his body are low quality, and I'm not sure I believe it, but it seems that very clearly his forehead tattoo is missing. He has a very prominent prong-shaped tattoo on his forehead, which is missing, which brings the option of the man in the car being a double. Again, not sure I believe it, but I also don't believe he passed away. You have to admit, for a conspiracy theory, that's some pretty compelling evidence. And they even showed a picture of X lying in the car, and sure enough, the head tattoo honestly isn't there. Now, there are many logical explanations as to why some of his evidence is missing, or why certain events don't add up. The biggest of which is the thieves. They didn't have time to steal everything off of X before the cops would show up. And it's likely they didn't plan what was to come. Just scare him enough to get everything he had. But things went wrong and it landed them only the bag. But regardless of what the truth is, the thread got a lot of attention around the world, and it turned many into believers that X was still alive. Number 5. Reasons for being gone.
X's mother, Cleopatra Bernard, took to her Instagram to let the world know that her new grandson is finally here.
Let's forget about the how for a second. We need to think about what this ruse would mean in the long term. After all, X was very popular and his fame was growing through his unique music, so why in the world would he fake his own passing? What would it gain him? Well, more than you think. While X might have been popular, he was hardly world famous in the way that Drake, Kanye, Eminem, and many others are. In fact, his fan base actually grew after his passing, which goes to show that sometimes they only appreciate you after you're gone, just like Vincent Van Gogh. But most importantly, X was one of the most controversial rappers of the young generation of the genre, and not just because of his lyrics, though those did indeed help him get the label. Rather, he had some very unfortunate choices as to how to handle certain problems and issues in life. The biggest being his longtime girlfriend, Geneva Ayala. The two had a very complex relationship, but by complex, I honestly mean mistreating and the other factors. And though X had often tried to win her back, including singing about her in songs before he passed, it just wasn't enough. In fact, she even filed a lawsuit against him, saying that he not only mistreated her, but did other very horrible things to her. So why does this matter? Well, when X passed on, all of his cases against him were dropped. And there were more than just this singular one with Geneva. X was accused of a lot of things by a lot of people. Before his passing, he was on house arrest before going on tour. With him being gone, all of his cases would be closed, and in fact, that's exactly what happened. You can't prosecute or judge a dead man, more or less, so faking his own death would give him a bit of peace in terms of legal freedom. But if he were to come back, it'd be the whole thing all over again, unless statute of limitations, and it's a whole major thing, but that would be insane. I'm sure this would sound like a major conspiracy theory that you would want to watch play out or something like on NCIS or Law & Order, but people have gone to great lengths to try and evade such charges. So X going to that length honestly wouldn't be too much of a stretch if he felt he could pull it off. Number 4. Publicity stunts. The other big reason that some people think that X is still alive is that he actually pulled a stunt like this back in 2017. X posted a video online via his Instagram feed, and in that video, X appeared to be taking his own life. Obviously, his fan base went nuts about this and trying to find out where he was and if he was alive or not, and it turns out he was actually just showing off a clip of himself in his new music video called Look At Me. Yep, he pretended to take his life just to drum up buzz about his music video, and it worked. So, by that token, if he was desperate enough and thought it would work twice, he could have easily pulled this off to try and get more buzz for, say, another album or another track. Elaborate? If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Which led to a lovely case of not paying attention, because shortly after the passing of X, a video popped online of him saying that he was alive and that the death was just a way to get the music video out there. Naturally, many watched it and felt it was real until they looked and noticed that the video was posted back in 2017 after the fake suicide that X had done. Just goes to show you that you need to pay attention to all the details before claiming one thing or another, because a lot of people are still convinced. Number 3, predicting the future.
I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy.
One of the more ominous parts about X's passing is that close to his final day, he made an Instagram live video stating some rather interesting things. Things that make you wonder if he knew he was going to pass soon. If worse things come to worst, and I die or some shit, I'm not able to see out my dreams, I at least want to know the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and be able to take my message and use it to turn into something positive and at least have a good life. He said in the clip,
And able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive and to at least have a good life.
if I'm going to die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me.
I know my goal in the end, and I know what I want for everyone, and I know what my message is.
Call it wise thinking or stating how you feel, but sometimes this feels predictive. And if he felt that he was going to pass soon, would you take steps to prevent that? And that brings us to something his attorney said not long after the incident. He noted that he actually asked the rapper to beef up his security detail. We talked about him needing security, that he was past the point of being a kid making melodies on a street corner. So he felt he was going to pass on soon in some aspect, and he denied extra security, which has all the hallmarks of a setup, or at least it would in the eyes of some conspiracy theorist. Number 2, life without rap. Not exactly proof of him being alive, but a reason to faking his passing. X wasn't alone per se when he was taken from the world. By that, I mean he had a girlfriend who was pregnant with his child. And as of the time of this video posting, that child has been born. Genesis Sanchez noted that she gave birth to his child, his final gift to the world. And the arrival of the child is more than enough of a reason for someone to fake their passing, so that in the eyes of the world wouldn't be forever on them. For right now, sure. But if he's hiding, all we have to do is wait for the right moment to come, and then he can reconnect with his child and baby mama. Which is an odd thing to think about, but hey, I guess stuff happens. Number 1, Tupac. Didn't expect to hear this name during this video, did ya? Or maybe you did. Well, there's a reason I'm bringing up Tupac here, because the situation sounds very much similar to how the legendary rapper Tupac Shakur passed on from this life. And the conspiracy theories about why and where he's still alive, and yeah, let's go on. Tupac was one of the biggest rappers in the world during the 90s, and one night in Las Vegas, he was was taken away in a drive-by. But things got weird. Like X, he wasn't lost at the scene, but passed away afterwards. Both of their bodies weren't shown to the public in certain ways. The funeral of Tupac was a closed casket, and it was supposed to be a big event, but got canceled at the last minute, limiting those who actually saw the casket. The point I'm trying to make here is that all of these circumstances have led to the long-standing rumor that Tupac is alive. And some feel that he's in Jamaica or Haiti right now, just chilling because he was tired of all the hype that he had gotten himself during the time in the United States, which is similar to the status of X before his own passing. Again, he was very controversial, and if you need to get away from the country, why not follow one of rap's idols and pull a fake passing? It worked for Tupac, and people are still talking about this. Although the people who caused the passing of X have been caught, and that is the so very key difference, but besides that, pretty similar. But as simple as all these suggestions could be, could it all be a ruse? Could he really be alive right now and enjoying all new sorts of fame? Well, as in all things, the answer might just be up for you to decide. And there you have it, the conspiracy theories and beliefs that X is still alive. Do you believe any of them? Or do you think it's just people failing to cope with the loss? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Hey!
Well, guys, that's it for today, and see you in another video. Peace.
Someone that's afraid to let go. You decide if you're ever gonna let me know. Yeah, suicide if you ever try to let go. I'm sad, I know, yeah. I'm sad, I know, yeah.